No, it was an organization that I was a member of. I've been involved in several different organizations that are Jewish people standing in solidarity with Palestinian liberation, and obviously, we are heartbroken, outraged, and moved to act, given that obviously Israel claims to act in the name of in defense of Jews worldwide, and yet it's a horrible twisting and turning on its head of our own history to now, obviously, the whole history of the state of Israel.
Let me ask you this: Does anti-Semitism exist today?
Does anti-Semitism exist today? Sure, but I don't think anti-Semitism is I think the claims of pro-Israel forces and the state of Israel.
I mean globally, like I'm saying, like
globally.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anti-Semitism is a major force in the world today. No.
What about the Jews that, and I'm just speaking of
Sure.
the Jews that are being beat in France for being Jewish, the Jews that are being beaten in Ukraine for being Jewish?
Sure. Yeah, there are places in the world where anti-Semitism exists, but we're at a Palestine solidarity rally. So
and I'm asking the
right. My family personally perished in the Holocaust, right? So I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to tell me about the extent of oppression of Jewish people. I know first from my own family's history, right? And I also know that there's absolutely no way that the Holocaust waged against the Jewish people in Europe by Christian Europeans should and can be used to justify violent genocidal war against Palestinian people, right? So any argument that what's the genocide? Have you been watching the news recently?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
how many people does it take to make genocide?
Okay, genocide in slow motion. If you listen to the news, right, the leading Israeli politicians, including those that currently run the country, the prime minister, other people in the Israeli cabinet, are actively advocating, policies that amount to disposing
they're
of.
Dropping leaflets and sending phone calls
No,
and text
sorry,
messages
sir.
before they hit a building. How is that genocide? Yeah.
Don't come here to interview me and then provoke me and tell me when you ask me my opinion is.
Well, no, you said it's genocide. I'm asking how is it genocide?
Go ask 1,000 people down the street if it's genocide, and any one of them will tell you, right? When their people are being murdered innocently in Gaza, you ask them why it's genocide. You don't have to ask me why it's genocide. It's very clear.
But if Israel's saying that they're going to strike a building, wait a minute. If Israel says they're going to strike a building,
so what's that?
If Israel says they're going to strike a building and the people don't move, is that genocide?
Wait. Sir, with all due respect, you need to educate yourself. Gaza is an open-air prison. Over 1 million people living in an open-air prison. This is not my opinion, right? It's widely acknowledged throughout the world. Not my opinion. If you want to believe what the Israeli government says, right? It's like, there's plenty of reasons not to believe what the Israeli government says. Ask 1,000 people that are down the street. Ask anyone here.
Yeah.
Right.
But who's imprisoning the Palestinian people? The Israelis or Hamas?
The Israelis. Okay. You're provoking me. I'm just being honest. You're provoking me.
Let me ask you this: as a survivor.
If you want to do the interview, don't provoke me.
But hear me out.
So
makes a good interview.
So
okay. So let me ask you, as a Holocaust survivor.
Sure. I'm not a Holocaust survivor.
But I'm saying, but your lineage is Holocaust.
Well, my lineage is the people who perished in the Holocaust, not survived it.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So let me ask you this: what is the solution for separate the Israeli military in terms of this political thing? Sure. What is the solution for safety for the Jewish people based off what we see in France, Europe, and throughout the Middle East?
It's a whole different situation. I'm sorry, but the anti-Semitism in France should be combated within France. Jewish people should be protected within France.
Who's going to advocate for them?
People in France, just like people in the United States,
but they
advocate against anti-Semitism and racism here.
But people
like saying, who's going to advocate for black people when black people face racism? Well, black people and any people that are their allies. That's who's going to advocate. Jewish people and any people that are their allies, anywhere they're facing.
Who are the allies of the Jewish people?
The conversation is totally off base. If you want to talk about France, go interview French people, interview Jewish people and non-Jewish people in France. It has nothing to do with what Israel is doing to the Palestinian people. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, is there anti-Semitism in Islam?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Why not?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Is there anti-Semitism in the Arab world?
Is there anti-Semitism? Well, what's the... if you're here to talk about Palestine, you know, interview.
Is there anti-Semitism in Palestine?
The interview is over.
Is there anti-Semitism in Palestine?
They're provocative questions, right?
Okay, but it's not the.
They're provocative questions. They're almost insulting.
No, we respect you. We just respect your position. Is what we're asking.
But I don't
Give him the mic. Give him the mic.
Line of questioning.
Is there anti-Semitism in Palestine?